Key 1. Stoic. Imagine this. You're moving through your daily routine, just trying to get things done like everyone else. But suddenly, everything starts to feel like it's too much to bear. The weight of the world feels heavier, and it's like you're carrying it on your shoulders, inching toward a breaking point. It's as if you're a pencil that's being bent too far, just waiting to snap, or a balloon filling with water until it's on the verge of bursting. We've all had those moments, right? But what if I told you that in those exact moments, when you feel like you're about to break, you're showing your real strength? Not the kind of strength that is loud, bold, and obvious like the heroes in movies. No, this strength is different. It's quieter, deeper. It's found in the small victories, the quiet moments when you push forward even though everything seems to be pulling you backward. That's the raw, uncelebrated kind of strength, the kind that doesn't get flashy applause, but it's the kind that truly defines resilience. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply keep going when it feels like the world is set against you. And here's the powerful truth. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who had wisdom that still applies today, believe that our greatest tests are not in moments of triumph, but in the moments of struggle. They taught that every obstacle is an opportunity to become stronger, to build up your character. It's not about never feeling overwhelmed or never facing a tough road. It's about how we respond when the barriers show up. Do we let them defeat us, or do we find a way to rise above them? So, when you face the next challenge, remember that real strength is not about never breaking. It's about how you pick up the pieces and turn those broken moments into stepping stones for something greater. That's the true nature of strength. Let's dig into what that looks like in real life. How do you recognize the subtle signs of strength that might be hiding inside you? Believe it or not, you're stronger than you think. Change is like a new road you've never traveled before. It can be bumpy, unexpected, and take you in directions you never imagined. But just like every seasoned traveler will tell you, it's often those unplanned routes that lead to the most incredible discoveries. When you embrace the uncertainty of change, instead of resisting it, you tap into a strength that's not just rare, but extraordinarily powerful. Think about the last big change you faced. Maybe you moved to a new city where you didn't know anyone, or maybe you took on a new job that stretched you beyond your comfort zone. At first, the discomfort, the sleepless nights, may have felt like signs of fear or weakness. But here's where we turn the story around, because feeling the discomfort and still choosing to move forward despite the fear is exactly what strength looks like. The Stoics had a lot to say about change. They believed that life is in constant flux, and the only thing within our control is how we respond to those changes. One of their great minds, Marcus Aurelius, said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Our thoughts and reactions shape our experiences, and this powerful idea is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy." When you embrace change, you are practicing one of the most essential Stoic principles, the art of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It's about recognizing what's beyond your control and deciding to act only on what you can control. For example, you can't control if your company moves you to a new branch, but you can control how you approach that move, whether you see it as a burden or an opportunity to grow. Embracing change is also about mentally preparing for the ups and downs that are bound to come with it. It's about being resilient, and resilience is built through facing challenges head-on. Every time you tackle something tough, you're not just surviving. You're gaining new tools, insights, and the wisdom to handle whatever comes next. Each challenge doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you wiser. So, the next time you stand at the edge of a big change, take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is an opportunity to exercise your strength. Reflect on the times you've adapted in the past and how those experiences have shaped you into who you are today. Like the Stoics would say, each change is a chance to reaffirm your values, test your flexibility, and grow in ways you never expected. Now, there's a common misconception that asking for help is a sign of weakness, that somehow it means you're not capable or independent enough. But let's set the record straight. This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, knowing when and how to seek help is one of the greatest signs of strength and wisdom. It shows that you recognize your limits and understand that collaboration often leads to better outcomes than going it alone. Think about the last time you asked for help. Maybe you were lost and needed directions, or you sought advice on a challenging project. You might have hesitated at first, worried about how others would perceive your request. But how did it feel once you asked? Most likely, you felt a sense of relief and realized that asking for help didn't diminish your capabilities. It actually enhanced them. The Stoics understood this principle well. They believed in self-reliance, but they also recognized the importance of community. Wisdom doesn't only come from within. It's also drawn from the collective experiences of the people around us. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, wrote about the mutual benefits of helping one another. He believed that through the exchange of support, not only do we grow wiser, but we also strengthen the bonds of our communities. Asking for help is an act of humility and courage. It requires you to admit you don't have all the answers. And let's face it, we don't. No one does. It also requires vulnerability, but here's the truth. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a bridge to deeper connections with others. When you ask for help, you're giving someone else the opportunity to shine, to share their knowledge and skills, which lead to better solutions and helps build a culture of respect and teamwork. In this give and take, you strengthen relationships and create a resilient network of support. Remember, nobody succeeds alone. Reaching out is not a sign of defeat. It's a strategy for success. It's about leveraging the collective strength around you to overcome challenges more effectively. The Stoics would remind us that we're all interconnected, and our interactions with others can become one of our most powerful sources of strength. So, the next time you find yourself facing something tough, remember that you don't have to go it alone. Whether it's pushing through personal struggles or asking for a helping hand, true strength lies in embracing both the individual and collective wisdom around you. Key 1. Stoic, we all strive for success, aiming to hit the mark every single time. But, as life often teaches us, things don't always go according to plan. Unexpected challenges arise, and despite our best efforts, we face setbacks that can leave us feeling defeated. It's in these moments, when what we might initially see as failures, that the true seeds of growth are sown. It may sound counterintuitive, but real strength isn't defined by how many victories you accumulate. It's revealed by how you handle adversity. Take, for example, a project at work. You've put in the long hours, sacrificed your free time, and poured your heart into it, only to see the results fall short of your expectations, or worse, fail entirely. The sting of disappointment is natural, but how you respond next determines your true resilience. If you can look beyond the bruised ego and dissect what went wrong, you're not merely failing, you're learning. Each mistake is a lesson, a guide for refining your approach and developing better strategies. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, embraced this mindset. They believed that every external event, whether good or bad, holds the potential to strengthen our character. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective encourages us to see failures not as disasters, but as invaluable feedback. Embracing setbacks as opportunities for growth builds resilience, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Resilience isn't about simply brushing off failure or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about acknowledging the pain, learning from it, and using it as fuel to improve. Once you've navigated through the low points, you're better equipped to face future challenges with a deeper sense of strength. Moreover, learning from failure makes you more adaptable. An essential skill in a world that's constantly changing. Each failure forces you to look at situations from new angles, encouraging creativity, innovation, and problem-solving. This adaptability can set you apart in both personal and professional spheres. There's also a certain humility that comes with this process. Acknowledging your failures requires admitting that you don't have all the answers and that you're still growing. This humility is not a weakness, but a strength that leads to wisdom and richer, more authentic relationships with others. So, the next time you face a setback, take a step back and reflect on what you can learn from it. Rather than criticizing yourself, approach it with curiosity. What does this experience teach you about yourself, your methods, or your approach? How can it help you do better next time? This reflective practice not only builds resilience, but also deepens your understanding of life's complexities, making you stronger and wiser in the long run. In a world that constantly demands more from us, knowing when to say no becomes essential. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about drawing a line that allows you to stay true to yourself and your needs. The Stoics recognize the importance of knowing what's within our power to change and what isn't. By setting boundaries, we take control of our time, energy, and emotional space. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This wisdom teaches us to be forgiving towards others while being disciplined about our own choices. Think back to the last time you said yes when you truly wanted to say no. Maybe you ended up feeling resentful or burnout. That's a clear sign that your boundaries were crossed. When you start setting and enforcing boundaries, you might fear disappointing others, but the people who genuinely care for you will understand and respect your limits. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's a necessary act of self-respect. It's about acknowledging that your needs are valid and important. By setting boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. It sets a clear standard for what you're willing to accept and what you won't tolerate. This clarity fosters healthier, more respectful relationships, whether at work, with family, or with friends. Lastly, we all have days when nothing seems to go right, when everything feels like it's working against us. In these moments, it's easy to become your own worst critic, focusing on every small misstep. But instead of being harsh on yourself, what if you approach the situation with kindness and self-compassion? Being kind to yourself doesn't mean making excuses or avoiding responsibility. It means treating yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a friend in a similar situation. The Stoics emphasize control over our responses and attitudes. When you practice self-compassion, you're embracing this principle. You're accepting your imperfections while encouraging yourself to grow in a healthy, balanced way. So, the next time you face a setback, don't be too quick to criticize yourself. Take a moment to step back, reflect, and ask, what would I say to a friend in this situation? By shifting towards a more supportive mindset, you'll not only build resilience, but also deepen your understanding of life's complexities, paving the way for a more positive, productive future. Key 1, Stoic adopting a more positive and forgiving perception of ourselves isn't just about self-care. It's about truly recognizing and celebrating the progress we've made, no matter how small it may seem. Did you navigate a difficult conversation with composure? Did you step in to help a colleague who was overwhelmed? These aren't just minor acts. They're victories that deserve acknowledgement. Celebrating these small wins builds self-esteem, nurtures resilience, and strengthens your mindset. Think about Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher. In his meditations, he often emphasized the importance of self-reflection and integrity. He believed that living in alignment with nature, especially our own nature as rational, social beings, meant we had to manage our emotions and actions with thoughtfulness. This is where a compassionate approach to self-evaluation and discipline truly shines. By nurturing a kinder relationship with yourself, you not only improve your own well-being, but also lay the foundation for better interactions with others. People who practice self-compassion are often better equipped to empathize with those around them. This empathy fosters deeper, more meaningful connections, whether with friends, family, or colleagues. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes just when you think you've got everything in place, the game changes entirely. It could be an unexpected job change, a sudden relocation, or any big shift that demands you to pivot quickly. How you respond to these moments speaks volumes about your inner strength. Being able to adapt to change isn't just a useful skill. It's a reflection of resilience. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, understood that while we can't control what happens to us, we do have control over how we react. They taught us that peace of mind doesn't come from our circumstances, but from how we handle them. Imagine being suddenly thrust into a role that requires skills you haven't fully developed. The initial impulse might be panic or doubt. But true adaptability doesn't mean you excel instantly. It means you approach the challenge with an open mind and a willingness to learn. You use your existing knowledge as a springboard, taking each new demand as an opportunity to grow and expand your abilities. Instead of seeing change as an obstacle, you begin to view it as an opportunity to evolve. This mindset is exactly what the Stoics advocated for. Life is unpredictable, and every challenge is an opportunity to practice virtues like courage, wisdom, and temperance. Yet, it's essential to remember that adapting doesn't mean ignoring your feelings about the change. It's about acknowledging those feelings, processing them, and using them as fuel to move forward. Reflection is at the core of Stoic practice. By reflecting on your responses to situations, you not only gain insights into how you can improve in the moment, but also prepare yourself for future challenges. So, when life throws a curveball, take a moment to steady yourself. Reflect on your principles, then move forward with a flexible, open mind. Embrace change as a chance to grow rather than a detour from your path. Every time you successfully adapt, you're not just surviving the challenge, you're thriving. Forgiveness is another powerful practice, both for your emotional health and for your ability to move forward. Holding grudges is like carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. It only weighs you down and makes it harder to move ahead. While forgiving someone may seem counterintuitive, it's one of the most liberating actions you can take. It lightens your emotional load, allowing you to navigate life with more ease and less resentment. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that negative emotions like anger and resentment cause more harm to us than to the person who has wronged us. Epictetus, a key Stoic philosopher, famously said that it's not the events themselves that affect us, but how we choose to react to them. Forgiveness isn't about condoning bad behavior or forgetting the pain caused. It's about choosing to let go of the emotional weight and not allowing others' actions to control your peace of mind. In fact, forgiveness can be one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. When you forgive, you create space for understanding and compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. Everyone makes mistakes, and these mistakes don't have to define us. Instead, they offer us lessons in forgiveness, resilience, and empathy. Forgiveness also strengthens relationships by clearing away the resentment that can cloud them, fostering more positive and authentic connections. From a Stoic perspective, forgiveness is an essential part of living in harmony with others, as we are inherently social beings. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic thinker, encouraged us to see the best in people and to help them grow when they err. He advised us to respond with understanding, not with sarcasm or malice, even when others make mistakes. True strength, as the Stoics taught, isn't about how loud you roar or how high you climb. It's about the quiet resilience, the gentle forgiveness, and the compassionate boundaries you maintain in your everyday life. This journey is not just about confronting external challenges, but also about embracing the internal work of becoming a kinder, more understanding person, both to yourself and to others. When you walk this path of adapting, forgiving, and reflecting, you're not only navigating life's challenges with greater ease, you're building a life grounded in virtue and resilience, one step at a time. It's a journey that, though difficult, holds the promise of profound transformation and fulfillment.